Is the villain we'll be seeing in the Moana sequel connected to Maui? During this year's Disney Expo, called D23, we got some pretty interesting revelations related to Disney's future projects. The material obtained is a very broad one, but without a doubt there are some that caught our attention more than others. This was the case when we saw that Dwayne Johnson was present at this expo. To introduce the official trailer of Moana 2, we immediately got several surprising scenes, such as the fact that Moana is a big sister. But we also got scenes that transported us back to the first film, such as the return of the Kakamora, a savage tribe of coconut-like pirates that Moana and Maui encounter on their journey, and the scene where we see Moana hugging her grandmother, or technically her grandmother in spirit form. Despite this, there is something that catches our attention even more, and that is that we got a brief glimpse of the main villain of this sequel. Who exactly is this intriguing and mystery-filled character? Could she have some sort of connection to Maui, the Demi God? In this video, we'll be discussing and clarifying all these details. And for more videos of your favorite series and movies, don't forget to subscribe to this channel. Welcome to the Oasis Geek. Let's start by answering the question, who is the villain of this upcoming movie? Well, if we look at the trailer, we could see that this one is not very well appreciated, since we basically only see a silhouette of her when she is introducing herself to Maui. From the little that can be appreciated, we see that the villain seems to have control over the bats. In fact, this can be confirmed as we later see Maui fighting them. Although in the trailer we did not get to appreciate her properly, we did get a promotional image that lets us see her better. In this image we can notice that she is in her human form. In this form she wears a dark-colored dress with an orange collar, possibly made of feathers, and a long cape. She is also wearing a yellow and orange hairpiece. So we already know what she looks like, but do we have any indication of what her name is? Her name is Matangi, and as a fun fact, this will be the first villain in the Moana movies who has the ability to have a dialogue. And apparently this figure appears to be a big threat to our protagonists. So, in what way could we confirm that Matangi is related to Maui in any way? Well, it turns out that there is a great indication of it, but we should pay close attention as Matangi has a very particular dialogue. She says exactly, "You will be destroyed and your wayfinder too." As you may already know, Matangi is addressing Maui in this scene, and not only threatens to destroy him, but also Moana, who is the wayfinder. So why directly target Maui and not Moana? To understand this, we must know several details. Thanks to the first movie, we know that Maui was not born a demigod. According to Maui, his parents just looked at him and decided they didn't want him. So they threw him into the ocean. This is when the gods took him and turned him into who we know him as today. Now, it is very important to know that Disney took inspiration from Polynesian mythology for the character of Maui. In that mythology, Maui is a prominent figure known as a demigod and culture hero. He is often depicted as a trickster and shapeshifter with various supernatural abilities. Maui is credited with numerous legendary feats, such as fishing on the islands. One of his most famous stories involves using a magic hook to pull islands out of the ocean. Another one is that he slowed the sun, and in another popular story, he captures the sun to lengthen the day, allowing people more time to fish and farm. It is also said that Maui was responsible for bringing fire. Some legends attribute the discovery of fire to Maui, who stole it from the gods. In fact, all this was explained by Maui himself during the first Moana movie. Knowing this, we just have to get out of doubt on something. What does Maui have to do with the new villain? Does Matangi also come from Polynesian mythology? Let's focus for a moment on Matangi's appearance in the trailer. As I mentioned, this one addresses Maui and tells him that he will be destroyed, and his wayfinder too. These words are more interesting than you think, as we can assume that Matangi knows about Maui. Not only that, but we could say that she has been keeping an eye on everything the demigod has done. And even though Matangi is not a character in Polynesian mythology, there is a deity who is connected enough to Maui to know every aspect of his life. I'm talking about goddess Hina, who is one of the oldest matriarchal deities in Polynesia and is the best-known goddess in all of Polynesia. Traditionally, Hina is closely linked to the moon, the ocean, sea creatures especially sharks, corals and spiny creatures, tapa making, mat weaving, coconut, breadfruit, and beauty. In most Maui stories, Hina is the supreme source of Maui's mana, which is where his supernatural power comes from. Depending on the version, the goddess Hina, or Hina-like goddess, is Maui's grandmother, mother, wife, or sister. In one Maori version, Hina is Maui's older sister. She taught him to use her hair to braid a supernatural rope to catch the sun and lengthen the days. According to legend, Maui tried to capture the sun 7 times and failed. He finally succeeded on the 8th attempt when he used a rope made from Hina's hair. In Hawaii, Hina is a central goddess in Maui's land fishing expeditions. In one version, Maui threw his hook into the ocean and asked Hina for help. Hina took Maui's hook and carried it to the depths of the ocean. She attached it to the mouth of the one-toothed guard shark, which was responsible for holding the islands. In this version, both Hina and Maui were the ones who fished the Hawaiian Islands. Mythologically, Hina is the goddess of the moon while Maui is the god of the sun. During the day, Maui guides travelers with the sun, and at night, Hina leads them with the moon. Like Maui, Hina is intimately linked to navigation. According to Tahitians, Hina is the guardian and protector of travelers during the night. So if we focus again on the Moana 2 trailer, we can see that Matangi's main focus is with the moon. And again, who in Polynesian mythology is associated with the moon? Hina, who could be altered in this film and given the name Matangi. As for her relationship with Maui, it is clear that we will be having some sort of relationship between the two characters. We could be seeing a sibling conflict, so that way we see more of Maui's past in this second installment. I honestly think this will be a very important aspect. Whether she appears under another name, as her sister, mother, grandmother, or wife, we will undoubtedly have a detail that will keep us eager to know more about them. We know that the main goal and focus of the movie will be Moana, trying to finish the work of her ancestors, which is to connect her island with the rest of the people in the ocean. But as a subplot, it would be very interesting to know what the relationship between Maui and Matangi is, and how Matangi came to have such strong feelings enough to eliminate him. It would definitely be a very interesting aspect to see in this sequel. But there's also the possibility that these characters aren't connected in any way, and that Matangi isn't actually Hina. But let's be honest, there is a high probability that this is indeed the case, and that in the scene where we see Matangi in the trailer, just before sending the bats to attack Maui, it is more than clear that they are foreshadowing that Matangi is actually Hina. But to know this, we'll have to wait for the Moana 2 movie to come out, or maybe they'll give us a final trailer where they provide more clues, or reveal altogether that Matangi is indeed related to Maui, making the movie more interesting than we thought. But tell me, what do you think about all this? Do you think Matangi is actually Hina? If not, do you think Maui is related to this villain? And for more videos of your favorite series and movies, don't forget to subscribe to this channel. You are on The Oasis Geek.